Hi guys, my name is Portia. Welcome back to my channel. So today is the video that I have been getting so many requests about, even before my last video about me getting into CRNA school. I've been getting so many questions about my stats. So this is what this video is going to be. I'm going to give you guys all of my information. And also this shirt is a different day. So I'm going to be wearing this shirt everywhere I go. So if you see this shirt in multiple upcoming videos, just know that it's different days and I'm wearing it everywhere. Okay? So disclaimer, you guys. Every school is different. And just because of my stats are the reason that, just because I got in with my stats doesn't mean it'll happen the same for you. I urge you guys to pick up your top 2 or 3 programs that you want to apply to. Talk to those schools, talk to the admissions committee, talk to the representatives to see what it is that they are looking for. Because some universities put more emphasis on your biology and chemistry GPA than they do on your overall nursing GPA. And others put, rather for you to have the average GPA and then a good GRE with certain ICU experience. So guys, really focus on your university that you're applying to and what it is that they're looking for. Okay, so now let's get started. If you see me sipping, I do have some decaf coffee in here. It's very windy here in South Florida today, windy and rainy. So I wanted something that was warm, but I didn't want any cocoa because there's too much sugar in it. So I got decaf coffee. But anyway, okay. So first, let's start with my GPA. So guys, I have, my nursing degree is my 3rd degree, okay? So I have a bachelor's degree in business, a master's degree in accounting, then I have my BSN. So for my applications, they looked at my overall GPA all across the span, okay? So all of my undergrad courses and everything are all accumulated together. So this is why I'm saying that not everyone's profile is going to be the same. Okay, so mine is a little bit different than everyone else's. Okay, so I'm looking at my accumulated. I'm looking at my calculated GPA, not from what I've calculated, but through a website called NursingCast. And if you guys have applied, well, for me, for undergrad, I had to apply through NursingCast as well. And then most schools now, nursing schools require you to apply through NursingCast. I don't really, it's user friendly, but I feel like applying through NursingCast limits the school from actually seeing the person as a whole. But anyway, okay, so on NursingCast, let's start with, I have here my GPA for my, stop it, Blue. Stop. It looks like, okay, so my math, my sciences GPA is a 3.65. My overall GPA is a 3.19. All right, and then my graduate degree, 3.7. Okay, so those are all of my GPAs from my applications that I've applied to for CRNA school. But if your GPA is a 3.0, a 2.9, a 2.7, don't let that discourage you from applying to CRNA school if you have everything else checked off. If you have good ICU experience, you've been there for at least a year and a half, you have your shadowing, you have your CCRN, you have your GRE if it's required. And if you did good in your chemistries and biologies, like A's and B's, but mostly A's, if you did good in those courses, then I would say still apply. Now, if your chemistries and biologies are B's and C's, are mostly, B's, then you may want to consider retaking A and P, or maybe even taking an advanced patho course. But again, I urge you guys to figure out the universities that you want to apply to and see what they prefer. Okay, because for example, there's a university here in South Florida, FIU, and they prefer to look at your sciences GPA than your overall GPA. I mean, because you can't go back and retake P's and psych and med surg. You got what you got. And that was before you became a nurse. You're a nurse now, right? So those courses now would be like cake to you. So don't get discouraged on those courses. But if your patho and farm and your A&P courses, all those aren't that good, you may want to consider retaking your biology and chemistries, or either taking an advanced patho, a graduate level patho course. Okay, so next we're going to talk about my GRE. Okay, so if you can remember, if you saw my application video, if not, I'm going to link it up here. You can go take a look at it. Some schools require GRE, some schools don't. Okay, so and some schools give you an exemption. For Kaiser University, if you already have a master's degree, whether it's in nursing or a different field, then you are not required to take the GRE. However, for Berry, their GRE is required. So for me, my GRE, I got a 151 on quantitative. 151 on verbal, 141 on quantitative, and 3.5 writing. The GRE was the most boringest thing studying for in my life. And I am a numbers kind of person. And I thought that the math part would be easier for me, but it's stuff that I haven't seen in years. Like I have always hated geometry, and I still do. But if your school puts a big focus on the GRE, take the time and do a prep. Some people say Magosha is good. I tried Magosha. I didn't like it. I ended up doing the Kaplan review question. I bought the Kaplan bank and I did the question bank. But again, if your school puts a big emphasis on the GRE, then I would definitely recommend that you maybe get a tutor or enroll in some type of prep course so that you can do really well on the GRE. Okay, next is going to be ICU experience. I've been an ICU nurse for a year, but before that I did do 6 months in step down neuro and ortho spine, and then I also became a neuro ICU nurse. So that was a year. But whenever I apply, again, know your school that you're applying to. For Kaiser, you can apply at 8 months. So whenever I applied, I actually had 8 months ICU plus 6 months of step down. Okay, some universities want you to wait a whole year first and then apply. But again, it's up to the university where you're at. Okay, and what's next? So we covered GPAs, we covered GRE, and we covered ICU experience. I did shadow. I'll link that video here about my experience. I have my CCRN. What else can I think about? And I did do a transition course. It's not required for any university. Well, that's not true. I haven't seen it required for any university here in South Florida. However, for Wake Forest and North Carolina, they do require their accepted students to take a pre-anesthesia course. Wake Forest does offer one. However, I took mine through Berry University. So it's called Transition into Nurse Anesthesiology. And what it's designed to do is to give you an overall idea of what to expect in CRNA school. And I personally love the course. If you are a chemistry, physics, and A&P kind of person, patho kind of person, not A&P, but patho, because as a nurse, you know A&P now. You know the parts of the body and everything, but now you're learning more of the pathophysiology and how things work and how medication affects the body and what it what it will and will not do. And to me, I loved learning about it. It's like I loved studying for my CCRN. I loved it. It was a lot of information, but I loved it. And whenever I was prepping for my interview, I went through my book all over again for my CCRN that I used to study, and it just came back. Everything just came right back to the forefront, and I absolutely love that kind of stuff. So if that is what CRNA school is going to be like, I am looking forward to it, because I am all of a wide person. I am all about the body type person, so I'm excited about it. That is why I didn't want to do MP, because that just wasn't for me. And I'm gonna make a video as well telling you guys why I chose CRNA over NP and PA, because I thought about them both and I did research for about 6 months before deciding on CRNA. Okay, so I can't think of anything else, guys, that I could talk about. I said I did neuro ICU, and I know nurses who CV ICU got in, nurses who were in SICU, MICU. I feel like nowadays people are so sick, so regardless of what ICU work in, you're going to see sick people, you're going to have vents, you're going to have drips. So I don't think that at one point I thought, oh man, I gotta get into the CV, I gotta get into CV ICU. And then I realized that I was doing really, really good in neuro, and I knew neuro just makes sense to me. So, and plus I was getting opportunities to be charge nurse in neuro. So to me, it just made sense to stay in neuro. But I could have gone to CV, but I chose not to. But what I'm saying is, if you get into CV ICU, good. If you're in a small community hospital ICU and you transition to a CV ICU at a bigger hospital, then good. But if you're already in a teaching hospital like I was at UM, if you're already in a teaching hospital or a really well-known facility, don't worry about trying to get into the CV ICU. Okay, but again, you guys, I'm telling you, again, I encourage you, I urge you to talk to the schools that you are interested in going to and see what they put their emphasis on. Okay? Okay, guys, so if you have any more questions, leave them down below. I'm pre-recording some videos now so I can post them as I go, because over the next few weeks, I'm going to be busy with moving and getting everything set up for school. I got an email about financial aid, so I need to sit down and navigate between unsubsidized and direct graduate plus loans. I have to figure out all of this stuff and see what's the best way for me to go. Okay, so I will see you guys soon. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Journey to CRNA 20, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.